La libertad es el concepto que ha inspirado lo mejor en las más grandes civilizaciones y se ha convertido en el pilar de las naciones. Siendo que la idea de la libertad es tan amplia, es común pensar que sea difícil que un solo ser humano la posea, pero es precisamente en la vida individual de las personas donde la libertad logra su propósito. Este tipo de libertad personal es lo que realmente importa. Libertad para actuar, libertad para relacionarse y libertad de ser y de transformarse. Estas personas han logrado liberarse del temor financiero, han logrado la libertad de construir un negocio y definir su destino y la libertad de ofrecer un legado a su posteridad. Juntos, edificando vidas, estas son solo algunas de esas historias.
I love living here in the Great Smoky Mountains. If God lives anywhere, it's here, with all this wildlife and beauty. But you know what? My life was not always serene. Before I met David and Bianca, I was a small business owner. I had a cleaning business with about 40 employees at the time. Things changed. And what happened, like all companies, they looked for ways to save money and increase profits, which mean I had to go. And I struggled even at that time to keep people on, keep them employed. It was very challenging. And I remember one day I got a knock at the door, and when I opened the door, the man was there from the electrical company saying, "Hey, you haven't paid your bill." I said, "Well, I'll tell you what. I got my checkbook in the car outside. Why don't we go out there and I'll just give you a check?" He said, "All right." So we walked out to the driveway and I looked and my car was gone. The bank had come and got it that morning. I looked at the man, I said, "My car is gone. It was here last night. It's gone now." And he said, "Sir, you look like a man with problems." And he turned off my electricity, and that was the end of that. I had a friend that gave me a car to use. It looked like it'd been in his family 4 generations, had a little paint left on it. And I used that car to get around, but I had a lot of stress, a lot of anxiety, panic attacks. You know, where am I gonna grow a business again? And of course my credit was ruined, everything was ruined. I looked out and saw the only thing that was left from that business was a junk truck. And it hit me. I thought, I'll call the junkyard and see what they'll give me for it. So a man came out and said, "I'll give you $400. I said, "Take it." And away that truck went. And I put $200 into groceries because I didn't have much food in the house. And I put $200 into my business. I was able to buy my distributor kit and some products and get started. And my sponsor, he was gracious enough to send me a cell phone because I couldn't afford a phone bill.
I remember when I first talked to Jeff, and I'd given Jeff a phone, and I said, "Look, this is a tool that will help you build your business. And you don't have a whole lot, but here, use this, use your contacts, talk to them, and just use the talent that you have to establish, these relationships, all these people that you have on a list, and let's go to work and make it happen." And he burned the phone. He burned it up.
This is my list. And I got on my phone and I started making phone calls. And at the time where I lived, I couldn't even get good reception. So I drove out in the hills of Tennessee into a cow pasture, closed the cattle gate, got out my notes on my hood, and I started making phone calls, setting up appointments. I went out and met with the people, just simple people that have families, jobs, children. They were not superstars in this business. We had one thing that we all wanted to be, and that was financially independent. And what happened was we grew our groups, we worked with our people, until finally, it didn't take long. My groups grew, and they started spreading throughout the world in different countries. And at that time, I had not even left the United States. And so I got on a plane and I started my international experience of seeing the world, making great money, and traveling to Korea, to Taiwan, where I met my wife, Michelle. And then when we had our beautiful baby Arthur, we moved back to the place that is closest to my heart, and that is in the Great Smoky Mountains here. And we just love our life here. I love waking up to this beautiful creation and spending time with our children, being financially independent. And all this happened because I made a decision. I made a choice. I could have stayed back on that porch and said, what am I going to do? I'm broke. I lost my business. I'll never be able to take it beyond this. I'm ruined forever. So really, when you look at my success, it all began with just a few things. And that is a junk truck, a contact list, a cell phone, and pure passion to want to be successful. I had to make that decision, and I had to take action. And in doing that, that led me to freedom. Freedom, not just money, but freedom. To be able to own my life, to be able to spend my life with my family, not away from my family, but with them. That's real freedom.